Hi, this is Ed Rushman for Whitestone Journal. Thinking a little bit today about blame and guilt and some of the alternatives. Sometimes we feel that we really wish somebody else would feel guilty for something they did to us. And by the way, anything that I say on a personal basis is often true for countries or other kinds of groups as well. But sometimes we don't feel satisfied unless the other person feels guilty, and I don't know that I feel that way as much as I used to. Maybe this is why. But blame is imposing guilt. And when we do that, feelings of guilt are more likely to produce actions of avoidance or apathy or something, or even a misdirected response. There are cases that I won't go into right now on a international basis. There's cases certainly that you can think of within the country with particular individuals that made a bad decision and then later made a worse decision out of guilt because they were somehow trying to compensate for the first one, but they ended up making it worse. This gets into some of the stuff that we talked about before with in trying to solve one ecological problem. Sometimes we introduce another one, or solving one practical problem, we introduce another one. And then there's Cobra effect, which I love to talk about. But we'll skip all that. That's a digression. The point is that when we impose guilt on someone else, it doesn't really necessarily get us a good response. It can make the other person feel bad. Okay, so the question is, when we make someone else feel bad, especially about themselves, is that going to usually produce the actions that we want to produce? Now, of course, if we're trying to manipulate someone else, which is sometimes it's things that we do, if we're trying to manipulate somebody, well, that's just flat out bad anyway. But, if we're trying to if we feel bad and we want somebody else to feel bad, chances are they're going to avoid us. Chances are, if we succeed in making them feel guilty, if we make them feel really guilty, they may feel so sad that they'll just be depressed and apathetic, and then they do nothing. And of course, if we want them to stop doing something to us, if we're trying to get them to stop an action, hey, imposed guilt, a little bit of blame might actually do the trick. I don't know. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just acknowledging, yes, sometimes it does get us the response that we want, or at least that we think we want. Maybe it's not the one we should. However, consider as an alternative, instead of blame and making someone else feel guilty, try to awaken love within that person. Love lies hidden in each person. Some people it's buried very, very deep. Some people on the surface say they don't believe in it. I've met people like that. It's very, very sad. People often say they don't believe in love, and what they really mean is they don't believe that they can give it, that they will always fall short, and that bothers them so much they would rather deny that anybody can do it rather than admit they can't and then fix the problem, because they don't really necessarily believe they can fix the problem. So let's assume for the moment that it's possible to awaken love in people. Find ways to do that. How do we awaken love in other people, especially if they're doing something wrong? One way is sometimes to get them to see the humanity in other people. If they see the effect of what they do, they may recognize that that's not something that's loving. And if they have any desire to be loving, then it may awaken that. Other than that, we just have to show them maybe the beauty of love. Just let them see how beautiful that is so that it awakens that desire to love. So, the interesting thing, in the gospel, we're told, Jesus says, love others as I have loved you. Love one another as I have loved you. And by your love, they will know you're my disciples. So there you go. If we show love, oh wait, does that mean loving our enemies? Not just inside, but perhaps in some cases, showing love to someone who wants to be our enemy will awaken love in them, because they'll realize this is shocking. why is this person doing this? Maybe am I missing something? Is there something that I could be doing that I would really like better than what I have now? So awakening love is probably more productive. Imposing guilt, blame, makes the person retreat. It hurts. They don't want to experience that, and they'll avoid us or continue or want to destroy us. Any of these things are possible. Love awakens. Awakened love awakens. It stirs the person to great things, hopefully better driving. It awakens a person to better things. It helps them to want to move. It makes them want to do things. And isn't that what it's about? If we're trying to get somebody to stop something that they're doing that's wrong, how much better is it to awaken love so that they want to do what's right? Ed Rushman, facing into the sun right now on a Friday morning. White Stone Journal.